Hi, in this video, we will solve example sums in accounting for calls in arrears. Both the journal entries and the preparation of the balance sheet will be discussed. So let's go to the first example sum. First example sum. BT Limited had an authorized capital of rupees 12,50,000 divided into 12,500 shares of rupees 100 each. The company issued 10,000 shares payable as rupees 25 on application, rupees 25 on allotment, rupees 30 on first call, and rupees 20 on the second and final call. All the shares were subscribed, allotment was made, and the money was duly received, except the second and final call on 500 shares, which was transferred to Calls-in-Arrears account. Pass the journal entries and show how share capital will appear in the balance sheet of the company. Also show note to accounts. So we'll first pass the journal entries and then we will depict share capital in the balance sheet of the company. Before we go ahead, we'll make a few notes. The authorized capital of the company is 12,500 shares of rupees 100 each, and the number of shares issued is 10,000 shares of rupees 100 each. The issue price, it's issue at par. Therefore, the issue price is rupees 100. The breakup is as follows. On application, it's rupees 25. On allotment, 25 rupees. On the first call, 30 rupees. And on the final call, rupees 20. The total issue price, rupee 100. Further, the question says the allotment was made and the money was duly received, except for the second and final call on 500 shares, which was transferred to the Calls-in-Arrears account. So on the final call, on 500 shares, we did not receive the amount. Let's go ahead with the solution of preparing the journal entries first. Solution. In the books of BT Limited. Journal. We have date / serial number, particulars, LF number, debit rupees, and credit rupees. The first journal entry for the application money received, bank account, debit to share application account for application money received. The amount received, 10,000 shares multiplied by 25 rupees per share, which is 2,50,000 rupees. The second journal entry is at the time of allotment. Share application account debit. To share capital account. Application money. Transferred to share capital account. The amount of application money transferred is the amount of the first journal entry, 2,50,000 rupees. Let's go on to the third journal entry, share allotment account debit. To share capital account. For allotment money due, the amount 10,000 shares multiplied by rupees 25 per share, 2,50,000 rupees is the allotment money which is due. The next journal entry is for the receipt of the allotment money. Bank account debit to share allotment account. For allotment money received, the full amount due has been received, so the amount received on allotment is 2,50,000 rupees. Next, we'll make the first call due, share first call account debit to share capital account. For the first call money due, the amount due on 10,000 shares at the rate of rupees 30 per share, amount due 3 lakh rupees. The next entry is for receipt of the first call money, bank account debit to share first call account. For first call money received, again the amount due has been completely received, so the amount received on the share first call is 3 lakh rupees. Seventh entry is to make the share second and the final call due. Share second and final call account debit to share capital account. For final call money due, the amount due on 10,000 shares at the rate of rupees 20 per share comes up to 2 lakh rupees. Last journal entry, 8th, it's for receipt of the final call money, bank account debit. We have received on 9,500 shares, rupees 20 per share. So the total amount received by us is 1,90,000 rupees. The amount which is not received will be debited. As per the question, the calls-in-arrears account will be opened. For 500 shares at the rate of rupees 20, per share, 10,000 rupees to share second and final call account. The total amount 2 lakh credited to share second and final call, being final call amount received on 9,500 shares. So we've completed the journal entries. I will remove the split and we'll have a look at all the journal entries before we depict share capital in the balance sheet of the company. This is the first screen. And this is the second screen. Next, we'll go ahead and depict share capital in the balance sheet of the company. Let's leave space for preparation of the balance sheet and go on to prepare note to accounts. Note to accounts. We have particulars and a rupee column. The first note is for share capital. Authorized capital. It is 12,500 shares of rupees 100 each. ₹12,50,000 and a double underline. Next is issued capital, 10,000 shares of rupees 100 each, 10 lakh rupees with a double underline. Let's move on to subscribed capital. The number of shares which comes under subscribed and fully paid up, where the full amount has been called up as well as the full amount has been received, will be 10,000 minus 500 shares, which is 9,500 shares of rupees 100 each. So subscribed and fully paid up, $9,500 shares of rupees 100 each, 9,50,000 rupees. Under subscribed but not fully paid up, we will have 500 shares of rupees 100 each, fully called up. The amount is 500 multiplied by 100, which is 50,000 rupees. And we will subtract the calls in arrears. On the 500 shares, the final call of rupees 20 per share is unpaid, comes up to 10,000 rupees. So in the outer column, we have 50,000 rupees minus 10,000 rupees, which is 40,000 rupees. And the amount to be shown against share capital in the balance sheet is 9,90,000 rupees, which is 9,50,000 plus 40,000 rupees. We'll go to note 2, cash and cash equivalents. Cash at bank, the amount received by the company, 9,90,000 rupees. We'll go on top to complete the balance sheet. Balance sheet of BT Limited as at 31st March. We don't know the date. We have particulars, note number, and a rupee column. Let's begin with the first part of the balance sheet, equity and liabilities. We have 1, shareholders' funds. Under that, A is share capital. As per note 1 for share capital, amount is 9,90,000 rupees, and the total of the equity and liability part of the balance sheet is also 9,90,000 rupees. Roman number 2, assets. We'll begin with current assets. We have A, cash and cash equivalents. As per note 2, the amount of cash and cash equivalents is 9,90,000 rupees, and the total of the asset side of the balance sheet is also 9,90,000 rupees. So we've completed the answer to the second part of the question. This is the balance sheet, the first half of the screen. Followed by the note to accounts.